Are we still vaping? Well, it's not the matters of what we do. It's more matters of what we know. This is a good way of looking at the New York editorial on we still don't know how safe vaping is. And because while the editorial likes to argue and stress the lack of knowledge that we have on vaping, I like to counter argue that that's not necessarily the case, that what we've actually been taught and promoted from vaping products. So first, I will discuss on why the editorial is wrong on focusing the lack of the knowledge of people have on vaping, to the records of the damage that's done from vaping, and then three, pretty much what next? Why should we either stop or continue vaping? Um, so the New York Times editorial argues that the health officials identified about 450 people claimed to die from vaping products. Now, it turns out with that case, it was a substance called vitamin E acetate. Now, with those are granted, yes, it is a mystery on what is contained on those products. Now, where the editorial loses the audience is it claims vaping as the whole that is misleading, which isn't true. The vitamin E acetate is contained in only marijuana-based vaping products. If their main claim was talking about marijuana-based vaping products, then that would be true. Where here I showed evidence where vaping products such as Juul have always promoted that their product has always been the gateway to stop smoking. Um, Here it shows that Michael Joseph Bilaha, it's a doctor who reviewed on both vaping products and cigarettes, and he shows that the flavoring chemicals create that water vapor that you inhale. It eliminates majority of the tobacco. Now, regular tobacco cigarettes contain 7,000 chemicals, which obviously are really toxic. So, with that being said, clearly cigarettes are really really bad, and then vaping products are just the use of it is to still get the muse, still get that fix for smokers who are trying to quit. So therefore, and but like the thing is with those products is they always promoted that this is a gateway like to quit. They've always stopped that. Clearly, it's always it has nicotine. It's not going to just not be good for you. But it's always been promoted that it is a way to stop. Um, Continuing on that, the New York at Times also says that the Food and Drug Administration have not spoken or denied on the facts on vaping, but this is not true because the administration has spoken before the editorial was published. Granted that this is recently, but nevertheless, they still spoke on the harms of vaping. The editorial also wants to change the main point by saying the vaping products promotion is wrong. Now, this is only arguable but agreeable. I could see where it makes sense, but the main point still states the lack of knowledge, which is totally false. Juuls and other vaping products have always promoted that this is a way to stop. It has nicotine clearly, and that always will be harmful, but you can't. It's way less than a cigarette, clearly. Um, Continue with that. The truth is we could find out that with marijuana vaping products are harmful because, well, clearly it's illegal for majority of the country. Again, the NYT, if the main claims with those specific products, if they were to specifically aiming at marijuana products, then I wouldn't have to be arguing that. That clearly makes sense because we do not know what is in vitamin E acetate, and that is what's causing the sickening and the deaths from those 450 people. But they just clumped up vaping all in general, which is wrong. I mean, it's not mainly that; it's mainly been the marijuana-based ones. Further on the research on the FDA, it is continued that the efforts have protected the public and the U.S. Food Administrations and strengthens the warnings on the consumers to stop using these products that contain THC. So again, this is where the FDA warned about the dangers of these vaping products, marijuana-based vaping products. Again, this is two different things, two different animals. That's like putting the cigarette and vaping products together, and within that, you can't have one or the other. They're two different products. Um, and according to also San Francisco Chronicle, that the company has spent millions of dollars on a ballot that's inefficient that would be overturned for the city's e-cigarette ban. So if people would stop trying to smoke, someone will use these tools where obviously the vaping can help cope their, ultimate ban from this habit. But at the same time, those people who purchase those vaping products like Juuls or etc., they know what they're getting to. They know what they're buying. They know what the product is, um, and if they know, then they know. That's not something that should be taken away from them, or they know the knowledge. We've been knowing it. They've had this product for like years. Um, Now, obviously, I understand with the argument standing for marijuana based products, then you have an argument, but you can't clump the two different worlds together. That shows that it shows that it clearly does not work. So, in conclusion, I've shown the problems with this editorial where it's false and misleading on the scares. The country has been expressing how vape products are a tool for quitting. And granted, it is obviously harmful, but the company have always warned and always expressed the dangers of inhaling nicotine. Rather, the editorial expressing the dangers of marijuana-based vaping pens, this is more mainly misleading of the gateway of having to keep quitting from smoking. Trying to make the main point about how people have never had this information. We've been fed this for years, which is the main point I expressed throughout this. This was not the case by the FDA reporting of the dangers of vaping. Thank you.